Every time a new version of Foundry comes out, which is about once a year, which is a little bit too often if you ask me, I get this question: when should I update my Foundry version to the latest version? And my answer is always, it's up to you. And that's not a very satisfying answer. So in this video, it's just gonna be real quick, but I'm gonna tell you when to update, how to check your module compatibility, and some other just best practices you should do before updating to the latest version. Now, me personally, I don't update right away. I typically wait 1 to 2 months after the release of the latest version to update my server. This is because most of my modules by that time are all good to go and we don't have to worry about anything being broken, but it 100% depends on you. If you are considering updating and you're just not sure if it's time to do it or not, I highly recommend that you just create a short list of modules that you cannot live without. Say that's like MIDI QOL, maybe it's some of like the Ripper 93's modules, maybe it's, you know, Mr. Primates, like D&D Beyond importer, things like that. Just create a short list of modules that you know you can't live without on your server and make sure those are compatible. And there's a couple ways you can do this. The first way is to just on the Foundry VTT server, they always try to announce when certain very popular modules have been updated. You can go to those individual modules' GitHubs and review it there to see when their timeline is. A lot of those indie devs also have their own Discord for bugs or whatever, and you can check in there. But there's actually a built-in system now on Foundry that allows you to check your module compatibility. So I'm gonna show you that right now. It is really easy to use. I will preface this, I am updated to version 14 because I am about to have a baby, and so we are on a pause for D&D games, and I was trying to test something out for my West Marches to see if they could update yet. Also, just a side note, usually when you update from one version, so say from version 13 to 14, you have to reinstall the entire thing. It's not just as easy as hitting the update button. However, you can still see the compatibility before you take that leap. So let's just look at that real fast. So here's our beautiful Foundry. You can see all my worlds. At the top right corner here, you're gonna see this little thing with a little arrow on it. That's the update button. You're gonna click on that. It should tell you if there's a new update available, but regardless, you're gonna hit this check for update button. Usually a big pop-up will come up saying what is in this update. But at the bottom is this preview compatibility button. It's gonna take mine a little bit to get through. Once it loads, all of your systems, your modules, your worlds, they're all gonna pop in here. Systems, usually if you're playing a very popular system, you don't really have to worry about that. What you really wanna look at is modules, and the easiest way to do this is down here you can see there's very quick at a glance which ones are incompatible, which ones might be at risk, and which ones are unverified. So you can also come up here and click on the button to see which ones are incompatible and which ones are unverified. A lot of them have compatibility risks on mine because they are things like map packs, and in this particular update, most of those map packs are fine. They don't have to be up to date, but this will very quickly at a glance tell you which ones are compatible, and you can go from there to determine whether or not you should install the next update. If you like what you're watching, consider supporting me on Patreon, the best way to support creators on YouTube. You can get behind the scenes, plus you can get ad-free versions of my videos. Also, live streams, there's shop discounts, hopefully some paper products coming out, definitely a magazine in the works. There's lots of stuff there. Link in the description. Now, just really quickly, some best practices before you update anything. Obviously, the first one, you need to consider your campaign schedule. Like, when is your next session? Because you want to make sure you have enough time to go in there and troubleshoot in case it is game breaking, like some of the changes. From version 13 to version 14, supposedly everything is pretty minor, so it shouldn't be anything game breaking. And for me personally, I can live in vanilla Foundry, so it really doesn't matter if my modules are working. They are mostly, for me, quality of life modules. Give yourself time to troubleshoot and play around in your Foundry version to make sure it's all good before your campaign. Don't do it like 20 minutes before. That would be like asking for hell to break loose. So other than that, make sure you're always creating a backup. It will usually prompt you to create a backup for anything on here. So just make sure you do that, because you never know, you might really hate the update or really miss certain modules you didn't think of, and then you have a way to revert back to your old version. If you are updating, and say you are updating more than one version, so say you're on version 12 right now and you want to get to version 14, make sure you update in order. If you're not updating in order, you can actually screw it up a little bit. It's tedious, but make sure you update from version 12, then to version 13, then to version 14, as it could mess with your worlds in particular. And finally, just another like consideration, you don't have to update, okay? If you're happy where your modules are right now, then don't update. There's no rush to have the latest and greatest thing if you're not interested in what they have released. So for this most recent one, it's all about levels and maps and things like that, and the UI has changed slightly. They've moved a few buttons around. I'm not sure if I love it yet or what, but knowing that it's just that, I really didn't have to update. And for my West Marches, we're holding off a little bit longer because the features in this update aren't like crazy have to have. Consider what's best for your group and your table. I also like to allow my players time to log in while we're not in the game to test out features, in review the new or whatever before we start playing. Plus they can help you find any modules that aren't working. Involve your players a little bit in that as well. But I think that covers everything. I hope that it helps you guys determine when to update. If you're watching this, it's only been about a month since version 14 comes out. I would not recommend necessarily updating yet, but maybe in June. But other than that, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!